El Salvador is a constitutional multi-party republic with a democratically elected government. In 2019, voters elected Nayib Bukele as president for a 5-year term. The election was generally free and fair, according to international observers. Municipal and legislative elections took place in February 2021, and also were considered largely free and fair by observers. The National Civilian Police, overseen by the Ministry of Justice and Public Security, is responsible for maintaining public security. The Ministry of Defense is responsible for maintaining national security. Although the Constitution separates public security and military functions, it allows the President to use the armed forces in exceptional circumstances to maintain internal peace and public security when all other measures have been exhausted. The military is responsible for securing international borders and conducting joint patrols with the civilian police. Civilian authorities maintained effective control over security forces. There were reports that members of the security forces committed abuses. On March 27, the Legislative Assembly declared a state of exception in response to the dramatic rise in homicides committed by gangs over the weekend of March 25-27. Under the state of exception, which must be renewed monthly, security forces were empowered to arrest anyone suspected of belonging to a gang or providing support to gangs. In addition, the state of exception suspended the rights to be informed immediately of the reason for detention, to legal defense during initial investigations, to privacy in conversations and correspondence, and to freedom of association. Numerous reports of arbitrary arrests, invasion of homes, unfair judicial procedures, and deaths of detainees follow the declaration. More than 52,000 persons were arrested in the first 6 months of the state of exception, leading to allegations of overcrowding and inhuman treatment in the prisons. Significant human rights issues included credible reports of unlawful or arbitrary killings, forced disappearances, torture and cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment by security forces, harsh and life-threatening prison conditions, arbitrary arrest and detention, serious problems with the independence of the judiciary, arbitrary or unlawful interference with privacy, serious restrictions on free expression and media, including censorship and threats to enforce criminal laws to limit expression, serious government corruption, lack of investigation and accountability for gender-based violence, significant barriers to accessing sexual and reproductive health services, and crimes involving violence against lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex individuals. Impunity persisted in the security forces, other executive branch offices, and justice system. In some cases, authorities investigated and prosecuted persons accused of committing crimes and human rights abuses. Criminal groups, including local and transnational gangs and narcotics traffickers, were significant perpetrators of violent crimes. They committed killings, acts of extortion, kidnapping, human trafficking, intimidation, and other threats and violence. They directed these acts against police, judicial authorities, the business community, journalists, women, and members of vulnerable populations. Authorities investigated and prosecuted such actions,